And finally, for today's episode, let's turn to David Trim for a look at Adventist history.
This week, we hear the story of Sarah Bright, who reminds us we're never too old to find Jesus.
This week, we look at two remarkable Adventist women. On August 15 in 1789, Susan Bright was born in the U.S. state of Virginia. She lived into the 20th century, becoming the oldest Seventh-day Adventist. Born Susan Trimble, she married Jacob Bright, a veteran of the War of 1812. He died in 1861, and Susan eventually outlived all her 6 children. In 1896, at the age of 106, she joined her oldest daughter-in-law, Sarah Ann, in Topeka, Kansas, and Sarah Ann was a Seventh-day Adventist. Her mother-in-law had been baptized by immersion in 1831 and could remember the falling of the stars in 1833. Now she studied the Bible, was convicted, and aged 108, was accepted into the Topeka church by profession of faith. Nor was Sarah's Adventism nominal. You see her here in a photograph taken in 1902 when, aged 112, she attended the Kansas Conference session. Sarah Bright went to sleep in Jesus on March 10, 1903. She was 113 years old. Sarah is the proof that it is never too late to come to the truth. On August 10, 2007, Irene Morgan Kirkaldy died. An African-American woman, Irene was born in 1917 in Baltimore, in the U.S. state of Maryland. In 1944, Irene visited her mother in Virginia, a state in the south of the United States. Returning to Maryland on a Greyhound bus, Irene was arrested for sitting in the white section. Irene appealed her conviction all the way to the U.S. Supreme Court, which in 1946 quashed her conviction, ruling that Virginia had no power to impose segregation on interstate bus travel. Sadly, it took into the 1960s for legal segregation within U.S. states to be dismantled. But in her case, Irene set an immensely important precedent. She died in 2007, aged 90. Irene was motivated by 2 foundational biblical principles. First, justice, proclaimed so persistently by the Old Testament prophets. And second, the principle that men and women should be treated without regard to race or ethnicity or nationality, because God created humanity and Christ died for all men and women. Irene Morgan's stand was taken independently of her church, but these are Seventh-day Adventist principles. That was this week in Adventist history.